Hey guys, welcome back to Gretchen's Vegan Bakery. This recipe for Ferrero Rocher mousse cake may look familiar to some of you, as I created it almost 2 years ago. But since ScrewTube is a pain in the crank and likes to make it harder and harder for us creators to make a penny, I was hit with a copyright strike on my original video for this one for music that was indeed royalty-free, and I do have permission to use it. But it's easier for YouTube to just strike me rather than realize the bogus channel claiming this infringement is actually ripping off the music themselves and calling it their own. This has happened to me a number of times already, but I am so tired of fighting to make a penny here on ScrewTube, so I just decided to rerun the video instead with a different track. This one is so worth the second look anyway, so check out how to make this amazing Ferrero Rocher chocolate mousse cake. Alright, so first let's get to making those truffles for the garnish to make this a real authentic Ferrero Rocher cake. You will need chocolate, hazelnut butter, and almond milk, a pinch of salt, and vanilla extract. I am using whole roasted hazelnuts to make the butter, but you can absolutely buy it already made and eliminate this whole step. But for those who can't get the hazelnut butter, check this out. I have roasted whole skin-on hazelnuts for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then immediately pop them into a kitchen towel while they are still hot, and the steam are going to pull those skins right off. Just roll them around inside the towel, and it's okay if you don't get all the skins off. That's nearly impossible. Now into a food processor while the nuts are still warm, and then grind them until they're smooth to a paste. And this is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes depending on the power of your machine and how sharp the blades are. It's going to look crumbly at first, but trust me, eventually it's going to turn into a paste. I have all the recipe ingredients and quantities listed out as usual at gretchensveganbakery.com, so be sure to click through, the link is below, and go ahead and grab that printable version because believe me, you are going to want to save this recipe. Alright, so now to make the truffles with our nut butter, melt the vegan chocolate over a double boiler or gently in the microwave. Now this is a specialty chocolate called Gianduja. It is a vegan milk chocolate made with hazelnuts. I linked to it in the blog post, but if you can't get it, you can sub in just regular semi-sweet vegan chocolate instead. Now I am adding the warmed up almond milk, a pinch of salt, vanilla extract, and then the hazelnut butter to that. This is essentially a truffle ganache recipe that can also be used for fillings in cakes. It is so freaking good, you're going to freak out. So this does have to set overnight in the refrigerator for it to be firm enough to roll into the balls to make the truffles. In the meantime, you can get to making the hazelnut cake layer, and that's going to be the base for this cake. It is the same cake recipe I showed you when I made my classic veganized opera cake. And again, the link for all these recipes is below with individual video tutorials for everything, so you can tackle this whole project really easily and one by one. And if you didn't want to make that lengthy hazelnut cake recipe, you can definitely just use like a chocolate cake base or a brownie base, like really anything you want. And now I have to prepare the hazelnut mousse filling. Now I've got more hazelnut milk chocolate combined with some semi-sweet chocolate too. Almond milk, more hazelnut butter, and cocoa powder. And the coconut fat from 2 cans of coconut milk that have been refrigerated overnight, since that will be the whipped cream that I'm folding into this mousse. So get both chocolates melted together, and then I added the cocoa powder to the hazelnut butter, and this proved to be quite a mess. So just make it easier by adding those 2 ingredients right into the chocolate and just whisk it smooth, and don't worry about it. Next goes the almond milk and then the medium peaked whipped coconut fat. Gently fold that in a little bit at a time just to kind of lighten it, and then fold in the rest. Now pour that mousse into the prepared ring mold with the hazelnut cake base, and into the freezer it goes to set, preferably overnight. And now you can make those truffles because the ganache is probably set by now too. If you know anything about Ferrero Rocher, you know that they have that thin wafer coating inside the truffle around the ganache, but since I'm not going to make this any harder than it needs to be, I'm doing it inside out by rolling the truffles into crushed wafers as the coating on the outside. But not before I pop a whole roasted hazelnut into the center of each truffle. Roll them into the wafer dust, and there you go, homemade Ferrero Rocher truffles. Just leave them in the refrigerator until your cake is set to use them as the garnish. So once that cake is set, you're going to unmold the ring, make a quick vegan ganache icing, pile on any of those truffles that you have left, since I know you ate a bunch of them already, and there you have yourself the most amazing Ferrero Rocher mousse cake that pretty much looks like you bought it at a top-notch vegan bakery. If you are looking for a dessert to wow everyone with what vegan desserts can taste like, you guys, this recipe is for you. It's really not as hard as it might look, as you can see, but there are several recipes to get to the final result, and as usual, I walk you through them step by step with video tutorials for every recipe. Don't forget to head to GretchensVeganBakery.com to grab these recipes, and if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And that, my friends, we will end this video with a big screw you to YouTube for not supporting creators the way we should be supported. But this is a labor of love, since Lord knows it ain't paying nothing. If you think you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month by checking out my Patreon page, I would appreciate that so much. A great big thank you to those who are already supporting. You guys are awesome, and I love ya! And thanks to everyone for watching, thumbing up, commenting, subscribing, sharing this video with all your friends. All of those things really do help the channel too, so thanks everyone. Alright guys, until next time, happy vegan baking. Bye for now.